Hey there, welcome back to Eager Gridless Beaver. I am one of your hosts. I'm D-. Did I say that? Anyway, I'm here today talking to you about something that is a real problem around here, and it's the invasive Japanese beetles. I am armed with a container that has some water and soap in it. It also has already some dead Japanese beetles from yesterday's treat out to find the source of this problem and shut it down, or as best we can, looking around as far as the internet is concerned. Picking them off and disposing of them is what you want to do. So we're trying to stay on top of that. The problem is, it just seems like it's getting worse every day. This problem existed before the trap, so I don't want to make it seem like that's the problem. It's been somewhat effective. Unfortunately, the most effective way to handle this that we've encountered or found is that just picking them off and spending 15 or 20 minutes every night doing this. We only have 3 grapes over here, 3 grapevines, and they're basically covered with them. Earlier today, I took one step and I trimmed back a bunch of the grapes that were growing voraciously. We've had a robin that was in here nesting, so I didn't want to really disturb it and mess with it, but a couple days ago the robin vacated the premises, so we've been able to trim it back. And I'm hoping for one thing that, well, it'll help the grapes grow and get more sun, but the other thing I'm really hoping that it's going to do is not give the Japanese beetles more to eat, so that we can cover less area and get more done, so that instead of spending 15 or 20 minutes a day, we just spend 10 minutes because we have less area to cover. So anyway, I'm going to get to that. I'm just going to pick them off. The process is very easy. I'm going to literally put this thing right below where they are before I touch them, because they have a tendency to sort of jump off and fall off and then fly away. So I have this right below. I will knock them off or sort of help them in there. They will go into the solution and just basically die eventually. I don't have to worry about it. They can't get out. They're sort of done. So yeah, I'm just going to get to that. So you get to enjoy some of this whole show. I mean, aspects of this in pest control are important for, like off-grid forest gardens, because much like any gardens, you're going to have some issues. It seems like with pests, but it seems like around here, we don't have a problem, and then it seems like something finds it in this forest, and it's like, oh my gosh, look at this, look what we have. No one's paying attention here. Let's get on top of this. Let's destroy everything here. Although I did learn with the Colorado potato beetle that if I don't replant the seeds, the potatoes from the previous year, it might help out some. So I might be trying that fairly soon, or not replanting my potatoes and maybe starting with some totally new stock to see if it helps with that. It doesn't seem as bad this year, but it is a little bit of a problem too. It's something I don't want. Pests like that do tons of damage, they're not fun or welcome with the rest of the good insects and birds and bees and things that do a helpful thing. I'm not gonna go out of my way to really take care of many things, but when there's problems like the Japanese beetle around, you got to take care of it. Just look at this. It's a mess. They are everywhere right now. So I got to get to this instead of just talking about it. Here's a good example of an area where there is lots of them. Just watch and see what happens when I try to do this and what they do. So this is some technique. I don't know if you can see this over here, but I'll do the same thing. I'm just basically brushing them off. They don't stay on there really well. I'll try to show you 4 or 5 shots right here, just so you can see. You'll probably see these ones drop as I start to mess with this. And as it starts to detect that I'm doing something, they just let go. And when they let go, they fall and then they fly away. Another hot spot here. You can see there's a bunch. There's also a bunch, I mean, basically everywhere I look. It's like a game that really pisses you off because there's so many and you want to get them all so they don't come around, but it just doesn't seem like there's any slowing these things down. Yeah, as I mentioned, I'm really hoping that just reducing the amount of greenery that I have here will help speed this up. It already seems like it's going faster because they're not hiding all over the place. Bunch above where I can't really reach. I'm going to do a lower part here, just get all the low hanging fruit and then go for the upper ones. Grapes all look like they're doing great. Sorry. Oh, there's so many up above here. I'll take care of these ones first. One more pass, like I said, and then I'll get up above. I mean, some of them are so hard to reach that I just shake it to try to get them off and lower because I can't reach them. I can't climb up here anymore. This is about as far as I can go. And theoretically, if I knock them lower, I shouldn't have as much of a problem. There's so many. Holy moly, it's like... Anyway, let's finish this pass. It just seems like we're not making any headway against these things. Holy crap. Now, it's always disheartening when you have things that are getting established or are established, and then they just start going backwards. And not just backwards, it's almost like only really 2 of the 3 vines are doing any good around here. And it's mostly due to the fact that one of them wasn't doing very well, but when you get this stuff on top of it, and it's not producing very much to begin with, as far as vegetation, and then what it has is then eaten, obviously that's a setback for a plant. So trying to help them out here as much as we can without spending too much time on this. Now at a certain point, and I've said this to A-Star, cutting them down almost makes more sense than spending day after day spending time doing this. It gets to be a lot of time if you do this all the time or once or twice a day, right? So I guess you got to take it seriously. Also worth noting for this, I think that I'm doing it at a good time of day where it's not as hot. I seem to remember reading, or maybe this is something A-Star said, that if you do it when it's really hot, they move faster, but that doesn't make sense. They're insects, they're not cold-blooded animals. So maybe it doesn't make a difference. Maybe it does, I don't know. I'm no expert in these things. I don't want to be an expert in these things, I just want them gone, right? Who really cares? There's so many insects I know nothing about. I just want... Oh, come here, you little... I just want this stuff to be the same, so that they're not here. I know nothing about them. They're like a mystery to me. I need Sherlock Holmes to try to figure out what a Japanese beetle is. That would be great. Or Agatha Christie, or something else. Who is the Japanese beetle? I don't want to know. Please go away. Go back to Japan. No, that sounds racist. Go back to wherever you came from. Maybe that's racist too. Die. There, how's that better? That's so much better than going back to Japan. Who do they think they are? Kish? Pop reference. Pop reference. Okay, I'm almost done. Hey, get to these guys. Get off my plants. Go lower. You guys don't need to be this high. I should trim up there, actually. Probably be the best thing. I do have... Yeah, that is something I'm going to do, actually, to finish this whole thing off. I'm going to do a round of doing this, and then I'm going to take the... Oh, my battery's dead. So I'm a liar. Once again, I am just lying. Don't want to tell you guys the truth or things I'm going to do. And then just to back out of it. Excuse me, Artemis. Thank you. You're nice. You're really nice, Artie. Artie, do you want some of this? Do you want to smell this stuff? What do you think it is? Ooh. it does smell gross, doesn't it? Your schnoz ain't lying. Okay, I'm into the last section of this grapevines. I'm going to do a quick pass on a couple of other areas that seem like they're hot spots for these. It's looking much better, you know. There's not whole areas coated with these Japanese beetles, so I know I've done a good job or a pretty good job, but we're not done. We have to keep basically doing this until the season's over, unless we can find a way, or a pretty good job, but we're not done. We have to keep basically doing this until the season's over, unless we can find a way to stop these things from spreading. But yeah, I'm just going to finish off with a couple more of hot spots for these things and call it a day. So thanks for sticking around. Thanks for coming in for our Japanese beetle extermination project here at Eager Gridless Beaver. You know, we're just trying to live life day to day and to try to keep pushing this off-grid wilderness garden forward a little bit more. Obviously these grapes are something that's part of our food forest. They're starting to come on, and we want them to provide for us as well as for things like robins, which seem to like them quite a bit too.